Even if you have a retail store, the number of people who walk into your retail store is dwarfed by the number of people who visited your website today. Now, maybe some of them are in a foreign country. You're not going to be able to visit you anyways. Maybe some of them are bots. But when you look at that traffic, they should have the same experience that you have walking into the store as walking onto your website.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Business Ninjas. I'm here today with Peter Platt, president and founder at Accountable Digital. Peter, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty well. It's the weather's turning in upstate New York, so that's good.
Us too here in Virginia. We got spring in a big way. If you have a problem with pollen, it's not the greatest time, but it is beautiful out there.
You understand how that goes.
Well, I appreciate you spending some time with us on Business Ninjas. Please tell us a bit about yourself and about Accountable Digital.
Sure. So I've been doing digital forever. So, I built my first website in 1993. So that was a long time ago. It's like over 35 years, which is a little scary for me now. But so I built my first website then. And in 1995, bought my first banner ad. And in 2004, I was one of the first 100 people certified in Google Ads. So they sent me a hat. So, so I've been working in digital for a really long time, and about 13 years ago, I started Accountable Digital because what I felt was that all the digital marketing agencies out there talked about cool new technologies, and there's a new one every year, right? Where, we've got a whole new slew of social channels now that people are looking at, right? So every year there's something new. And nobody talked about driving business results. And so that's really what I started Accountable Digital with, was the idea that let's take the mystery out of digital and talk about, what does your business need? Do you need more leads? Do you need more walk-in customers? Do you need more online sales? Whatever those things are to your business, that's what's important. And we help customers, our clients, figure out what tools they should use in a measurable way that they can actually track those results and see the impact out of digital instead of just doing it because it's cool.
There's certainly been a quickening in those 30 years. Now it's every month or two, there's new technology coming out. I mean, it's exploding in a great way, but again, if the end goals aren't in sight when you're connecting the dots with those pieces of technology, you're just throwing good money after bad.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Okay. And what verticals do you service at Accountable Digital? Who are your clients?
So I got my start in the B2B side of things. So that's where we do a lot of our work, is with, really niche B2B technology companies, things like that, where they've got a unique product, a unique audience, oftentimes something that, we have a real niche. There's 2,000 people in the world we need to sell to. How do we find them? How do we get them? When they get the deals, they're big, but it's a different sort of model. So we do a lot of B2B. We also do some retail and consumer as well, some restaurants and furniture, that kind of thing. And then we do have a pretty decent niche in the nonprofit realm. We've kind of cracked the code on Google Grants, which is a great opportunity for a nonprofit to leverage some free dollars from Google, and we can really help them take advantage of that. So that's been a good place for us as well.
Excellent. And what are the most common problems that you're solving for your clients?
It's funny. We're, kind of 5 years after COVID now, and the B2B world has really changed a lot. That's trade shows are coming back, but they have a different kind of feel. There's a different expectation out of them. There's different travel budgets, that kind of thing. So digital has really taken a strong place in there. And, it used to be that we said, oh, our B2B customers, they're all on desktops at their computers at their office. Well, now they're in meetings on phones and looking at mobile devices, and they're doing research in different ways. AI is starting to change things a lot for them. And so really trying to understand kind of the nuance of, how do I find my customers in this unique world? Because, you can't send a direct mail to their office anymore because they're probably not there. So
What What differentiates accountable digital? What makes you stand out from your competitors?
I think that the key differentiator is really, the first name of our company, accountable. We want to do the metrics. We do the work to figure out how are we going to measure results. So, you know, as we all know, the only people who really make money on clicks is Google, Meta. They make money on clicks, but everybody else, pays for clicks. Clicks aren't a metric that are important to most businesses. So, our real differentiator is digging in and trying to understand what that nuance is. Um, I think in the early days of digital, we thought, oh, we're going to be able to track everything end to end and get all those pieces together. Well, the reality is, people have privacy concerns, the technology changes, things like that. So you have to work a little harder. So it's not simply, oh, I'm just going to put Google Analytics on and see all my sales and be able to say everything. So we really work with our clients to understand what's important to them and then define digital KPIs that make sense for their business that roll up to their business objectives. So if they're moving into a new market, we're going to look at leads from that market, traffic to their site from that market, really niche kind of data so that you're not just looking at, well, thank goodness bounce rate's not around anymore, but a a data point that doesn't mean a lot. Instead, we're looking at something that has very visceral meaning to our clients and often to their management as well.
Absolutely. Hey, raw clicks are interesting. Looks nice on a dashboard, but at the end of the day, you're wasting time responding to people that aren't potential clients. So no, we preach intentionality in content because you have to reach the right eyes. Google wants to send you the right eyes. They are in the business of getting it right, but
Yeah.
there's a very particular pathway to getting that done. So yeah, you speak our language, that's for sure. Now,
Yeah.
you broached the subject of COVID for a second. Tell me about the challenges and opportunities that provided for you in terms of tending your.
Yeah. So we actually grew during COVID. I have this fabulous email I save and I pull out every year that was on March 13th, 14th, whatever it was, and I sent it out to everybody and said, hey, everybody go home. We'll see you back in 3 weeks. That didn't happen
How'd
exactly
that
that.
work out for you? Yeah.
But everybody, we were able to basically go remote without any hiccups. It's allowed us to expand. So I have people in multiple cities now who work for me. That's been very effective, helpful to get more talent and get different people in the team. And then, I think um, we're finding different ways to get together. One of the interesting things we're doing is we do a core week 4 times a year. And what we do is all of our team comes in. Monday and Friday are travel days for our out of towners, but Tuesday through Thursday, we spend together to actually, do business strategy planning, talk to each other. We went to a smash room recently, kind of, have a little fun, but
Yeah.
spend some time together because, while we all love Zoom and, Teams and all the different platforms that allow for that kind of connectivity, it's nice to have some of that personal side. And so we do that. And then, with our clients, we still try to get in person with them every once in a while. It's not, it doesn't have to be every meeting, but so I think there's been a lot of efficiencies that have been created since then, and just a lot of new ways to work.
Yeah. Hey, at the end of the day, still human beings who want and need that visceral connection to who they're doing business with for a relationship to grow the way it needs to if it's going to have legs. That makes sense to me. What role has content played in the growth of accountable digital?
It's funny. I think of particularly like our SEO services, which there's a lot of places that offer some pretty basic SEO services for very little dollars a month, and they help your technical scores. And technical scores are fine. That's a good thing. Google wants that's the first checkbox. They were like, is this the page load fast? Is it not broken? Great. You want that stuff in place. But I think the real magic happens when you have content that's meaningful, that talks in your brand, that helps support who you are. And I think it's really the glue that holds everything together, sort of like it gives a better picture of the whole company entity, things like that. So when we're working with our clients on content, they're I don't think you can spend more than 5 minutes without somebody saying AI in a conversation nowadays. And AI is great. It does some really good things to help with content. We often try to remind our clients, we say, the first word in AI is artificial. So use it to build ideas, take it and add that personality onto it, take and make it yours, or use it to refine some things that you've written that could use a little polish. And then the content really provides a lot more depth. And, so I think there were a lot of people who immediately took whichever AI tool they liked that day through, 10 new pages on their site every day for a month. And Google said, yeah, there's nothing here, right? Because it wasn't well written. And so, when I look at this industry overall, yes, digital marketing, oh, we've got AI, we've got all these technology things. At the end of the day, we're an agency. We help our clients sell more stuff, right? That's what we do. We don't force anyone to buy things. We get people aware, and people want more information now, and they want it in different ways. And so if you have robust content, somebody may be really interested in the technical aspects of SEO or the content aspects of SEO or the linking aspects of SEO, right? There's those kind of three pillars. But each person has a little different needs. Well, if you have robust content, you can tell the story the way they need, or the way they need to present to their CFO who's trying to approve the budget, or they need to present to their CEO who's trying to decide whether it's worthwhile for the business. And so for us, content is that glue that really holds together and, helps establish more. And because of how things have changed since COVID and things like that, your digital presence, I've often tell clients, even if you have a retail store, the number of people who walk into your retail store is dwarfed by the number of people who visited your website today. Now, maybe some of them are in a foreign country. You're not going to be able to visit you anyways. Maybe some of them are bots. But when you look at that traffic, they should have the same experience that you have walking into the store as walking onto your website.
Hey, we have more options than ever as consumers. People, the average person is doing 5-10 rounds of research to make a minor purchase, let alone engage a company for a service or a product, right? So
Exactly.
it's critical stuff. Now, I repeat for the third time, you speak our language in spades, and I thank you for it. All right. Look down the road a year from now. What are some things you'd like to be celebrating both personally and professionally?
Yeah. So, well, let's see, a year and a half from now, it'll be 15 years. So that's a huge milestone for a business. 5 years was a big one, 10 years was a big one, kind of, we've been growing, slow and steady throughout. COVID was not, wasn't a negative to our business, was actually, I think has been in some ways a benefit to enable us to be able to work this way. A year and a half from now, I'm looking forward to like having like the content offering. I think, using tools like yours, quite honestly, could be a great way to really help our clients build out their content, tell a better story. And I think that shift of, understanding what people are, how they're interacting online and what they're doing and how much you can do to really impact that experience in a way that was, quite honestly, really cost prohibitive in the past.
Sure.
So it was, I often tell a client, in the old days, if we were going to write a blog post, let's say it was going to take 10 hours because we were going to do 4 or 5 hours of research. We were going to read 20, 30 articles, right? We were going to dig in. We were going to get deep on it. We're going to do a couple drafts. And, well, I can do that in probably 3 or 4 hours now with, some AI generation. And, by the way, the AI just looked at 2,000 articles, not 20, right? And so I think we're going to see opportunities to really leverage that, making sure that the human intelligence gets applied to the artificial intelligence. And so I think we're going to see significant opportunities for growth there with, I think there's a lot of people scrambling at AI and only a few of us who are paying attention and doing it well.
Hey, it is just like anything else. It's just a tool, right? It still has to be implemented. And especially now, uh, the output has to be vetted by human beings because there's just so much noise to cut through. I mean, I have a client who referred to AI as a golden retriever. It'll say anything to make you happy. Well, we got to make sure that those words actually mean something, carry some weight, and have some legitimacy to them, right? No, so I too have I have some sadness for the people who latched onto ChatGPT and put turnkey content onto their websites because, again, there are thousands of people with the same content, and Google's pretty savvy, so they take a look and say, "There's nothing here." Next. So yeah, it's just a tool. Human intelligence for us is 90% of the game. Again, it's a fabulous tool. We need to be there to steward the content. Here. All right, please tell us, what's your URL? Where can people find Accountable Digital, and what social media outlets do you use as well?
Yeah. So, not surprisingly, accountabledigital.com. We understand branding, right? So, it's important to make it easy to say, easy to spell. It may have a lot of letters, but it's pretty clear what we are. So, accountabledigital.com. We offer a variety of things on our website where you kind of learn more about digital marketing, things like that. And, we are located in Western New York, but we do work with people all over the country and some internationally as well. So we love people who have a real business problem to solve. That's, we, my quiver is full of digital arrows. I pull out the right ones that make sense for the client, or I'm also the first one to tell them, yeah, you don't need to use digital. You need to do something else. So that's always our approach.
Excellent. And what social media outlets do you use?
So, let's see, day by day, that tends to change nowadays. Our core stuff, LinkedIn is where our business information, that side of things is going. It's been a big place for our B2B clients to really excel. It's really transitioned away from a job board that it used to be, I think. And so LinkedIn is where you'll see a lot of our business updates. The Meta platforms are great for sharing kind of our personality, who we are. So you'll see that kind of stuff over there. I think the jury's out on, the red notes and blue skies and things like that. My kids always laugh because I'm on TikTok before they are or whatever. And they're like, Dad, you can't be there already. I'm like, well, I have to be, I need to see what's going on. So we do follow all those things, at the end of the day, as marketers, we're always looking for where masses of people are. Sometimes we're looking for niches though. And so there can be some really great niches. Reddit, things like that are great places to engage certain people. So we're, as far as our company for ourselves, we tend to be active on LinkedIn and the Meta platforms. As far as for our clients, we're working across a variety of different things depending upon which platforms are important to their audience.
Excellent. Peter Platt of Accountable Digital, thank you for spending some time with us today on Business Ninjas. Continued success to you and yours, and keep on keeping on to get past that 15th anniversary.
All right, great. Will do. Thank you very much. I appreciate the time.
My pleasure. Be well.